Hello everyone, this is Gary from morethanasnapshot.com. Today I wanted to talk about composition, of course, because we're in the month of composition, but relating composition to aspect ratio and of course cropping. So the question is, do you try to shoot for a certain aspect ratio? Maybe different cameras may even have a different aspect ratio. Or do you shoot loose and then just crop to whatever aspect ratio you want in whatever program you're using? In this case, I'm in Lightroom. Well, I think that you should try to fill the frame in your camera. And depending on the camera will depend on what kind of aspect ratio you have. If it's a digital SLR, it's a 3:2 aspect ratio. But there may be times when you want to leave maybe a little extra room around the edges, shoot a little bit loose in case you need to make a little bit of a change in an aspect ratio. And when you go to the cropping tool, you can see that right where it says aspect, it says original or as shot, and then you could go custom, and then you have a whole bunch of preset choices. So I like to crop with the preset choices, although sometimes I may go custom. By sticking with one of the preset choices, it tends to work out better when it comes time to you making a print. It's already in the right aspect ratio for a certain sized print. So 2:3 or 4:6 is the aspect ratio of a digital SLR, and that's why the rectangle has not changed size when I did that. And the little lock here would be showing that I can lock in that aspect ratio. Now, let's look at some of the other ones. Here we have 1:1, and this is kind of popular now because of Instagram, and it was popular before because of medium format cameras as well. And some subjects may fit well into a 1:1 square type composition. And no matter what composition, no matter what aspect ratio you pick, you'll see here that the grid for our crop shows that the rule of thirds can still work well no matter what aspect ratio you pick. Alright, so this is what this photo would look like roughly in the 1:1 aspect ratio. And we can try and take a look at 4:5, which would be good for making 8:10 prints. And we'll look at 8.5:11, 5:7, another common print size, 4:3, 16:9, which is like a television aspect ratio. And you can of course do custom. So those are your aspect ratio choices. You could, after the fact, as I'm doing here, try to fit the aspect ratio that best fits with your image or with the size print you want to make. Although I think it's best if you fill the frame with your subject and maybe leave a little bit of extra room if you need to make some creative choices with your aspect ratio and your crop. Just to show you another little example, we'll come down to some photos of where is it? This photo. Alright. So I think in this photo I probably have a little bit too much sky, so I would want to cut that down. So I'll go to the crop tool, and let's try 8:10. You can see 8:10 is not really going to work for this type of image unless I wanted to get rid of some of the boats. It doesn't really work well for me anyway. Could try 1:1. Again, it doesn't seem to fit the scene. What I'm trying to get rid of is the top sky. So I'm looking for something that's going to be a little more like a pano type. So I'll try 16:9. Okay. Alright, so this is 16:9. So now it's giving me the right shape that I can use to get rid of some of the top. Maybe I want to come in a little bit on the ends here. And now this image I think fits well with that 16:9 type ratio. And you can see here, this is the finished image that I did, and I did it in the 16:9 ratio. So just keep in mind that the aspect ratio is important, so fill the frame in case you need to make a small crop to fix how it's going to fit into a print. Alright, so I hope this tip was helpful. Again, this has been Gary D. Tonicourt from morethanasnapshot.com.